Margaux, there are 3 vintages on the go. The one growing in the vineyards, the one being sold, and the one before that which must be bottled before it's dispatched around the world. There were 150,000 bottles of the 2006 Grand Vin. Released for €3,000 a case, that's a potential revenue of €37 million, although normally the chateau holds back a percentage of the production. Such a valuable commodity requires the strictest security to prevent fraud. Each bottle is etched with its own unique serial number. Meanwhile, a microchip will record the temperature at which the wine is stored hour by hour, bad storage being the main reason that wine gets ruined. Even though Margaux uses the finest corks money can buy, a percentage are still faulty. As a result, a radical experiment is underway. Chateau Margaux is road testing screw caps and synthetic corks.
Bon. Plus tendre.
Oui,
tendre.
voilà, plus tendre.
Et plus tendre.
Moi, j'ai trouvé plus sec aussi.
Oui, c'est ça.
Au point de vue nez, qu'est-ce que vous avez trouvé?
Alors celui-là, c'est celui que j'aime le moins.
Moi aussi.
Ouais.
Alors,
lui, il a un nez
il y a quelque
un peu
chose
particulier. Ouais.
Il y a un nez très particulier.
Voilà.
Un petit peu.
Je trouve aussi, ouais.
J'ai du mal à savoir quoi.
Ouais, moi j'étais un peu pris
pas
à un
le
moment
bouchon.
donné. Ouais, je savais pas trop si c'était pas un peu moisissure. Enfin, non,
Oui,
non, mais
mais
enfin.
c'est pas le bouchon.
Non, non, mais c'est pour ça que.
D'abord,
Non, non, c'est pas,
c'est-
c'est pas bouchon.
C'est pas plus que ça.
Mais ouais, ouais.
Mais c'est un nez un peu, oui.
C'est un nez un peu bizarre.
Ouais, ouais, ouais. J'ai l'impression de ça.
Alors qu'est-ce que c'est ça? C'est le bouchon.
C'est celui-là.
C'est le synthé.
Ouais.
Bouchon synthétique.
We actually, generally, we don't rule out any option. The real point, our real challenge, is to produce the best possible Chateau Margaux, which is why we have started this experiment with enough bottles to go on tasting during the next 30 years. Because, of course, we couldn't take a decision today to go for a screw cap or to stay with natural cork. We lack of background. We shall do these kind of tastings probably once a year or once every 2 years, just to know how the wine changes, and that we can only take a decision in at least 25 years. At this stage, we can't draw any conclusion at all, which is why we have to wait.
With a decision not expected until sometime in the 2030s, for the time being, the traditional cork is safe. At the end of July, Veronique is having one final till of the terroir before the vineyard workers break for the summer.
Le thon, cette année, a été bien?
Le temps?
Oui.
Non. Non, non, on n'a pas eu beaucoup de chaleur. Il a plu, il n'a pas fait... Ça fait pousser l'herbe. L'herbe, cette année, on en a eu beaucoup. Pour nous, c'est bien parce que bon, il faisait pas trop chaud. Mais bon, pour la vigne... Déjà, on n'est pas en avance pour les raisins. Parce que d'habitude, ils ont viré, ils ont changé de couleur. Et cette année, ils sont encore verts. Et on a bien entre 15 jours et 20 jours de retard. Mais bon, c'est le temps.
Before they go on holiday, the workers have a lunch. The money to pay for it has been raised by selling off old bits of vineyard wire. The paycheck is followed closely by a seafood platter and, one of the perks of the job, a few bottles of the house wine.
À la manger. Un peu de repos, ça fera du bien.
Karine's father, Andrei Mentsolopoulos, was a Greek businessman whose formative wine experiences consisted of Retsina. He bought Margaux in 1977, when a run of dreadful vintages had brought the chateau to its lowest ebb, and ploughed his very considerable fortune into the cellars and vineyard.
Salut!
He died in 1980, before the fruits of his labours could be appreciated, and Karine took over aged 27.
When I came for the first time with my father as a young woman from Paris, you know, I was imagining a rich land. And I see those pebbles and only gravel. And the people here start explaining to me that's where we get the best soil. And I'm thinking, sure, you know, do they really think I'm going to believe that? And it turns out I quickly learned, and especially over the years, that it's true. That here basically nothing grows in those best soils except vines. The soil just needs to be well taken care of. Like a child, help it, you know, if he's good, and this soil has a genius, the best soils of Bordeaux, you know, you help him express its genius. Look at those stones. We suffer because it's one of our best pieces, but we have to let it rest for 5 years.
Looks like a car park.
How could you ever say such a thing? Look. Pebbles. Nothing. This is exactly the perfection for a vineyard. Pebbles, gravels. Even after 4 years, nothing grows on its own. Only vines. Zorba! Viens ici.
Paul was one of Karine's early appointments. Armed with a doctorate on the barrel aging of red wines, he too took on the job when he was 27. 2008 will be his 26th vintage of Margaux.
I'm looking at the first berry which has changed color. This is the very beginning here of what we call the veraison, which is the very first start of the maturation process. So it's very interesting. It's a crucial period because this is when very serious things start. The real maturation process, which obviously will bring the grapes to hopefully full maturity, depending on the weather. What now starts to be at stake is the quality of the vintage. All will depends on the weather of the next 2 months, August, September. August is crucial because this is the